planet and they were playing Wizard Toys. And so it happened again. I was trying to press the pause button and accidentally pressed the stop recording button. I'm sorry. So, what has happened is we gained morale in life. Actually, first, let me tell you what happened. So, don't you know that girl we left in the castle? Well, we went and got her. Now, I guess she's in the story. So, we had some encounters. I picked the right ones. Sorry. And then we were hiding, and, well, I shared a blanket with her, which lost my morale, but it made me gain life, and, the other, it made me gain a morale, it made me gain my mana, I think. Yeah. Like one of those. And it made me gain like 8 of my lives. But I lost 1 morale. So that was a good option to share a blanket with her. Because she didn't have no blanket. And I felt like if both of our body heats are together and under a blanket, that would be good. And then, funny thing, these people were walking by, and it was describing this one girl, and it said to people, like, what caption? It, like, said to people, I'm sorry, I know you would, like, swing over a man or something, but we're playing a heterosexual wizard, and he, like, something, and then everyone's like, ooh, you like her, and yeah, so that's where we are. I think something's happening to the person that they were describing. I didn't get her name. Yeah. Okay, so that's where we are. I hope I described it to you. Good. It was the main things that happened. I'm happy I gained my life up. Okay, let's play it anyways.
There are only 3 of us, and they are slowed by their burden. We could cut through the woods and get ahead of them. We shall ambush them as they come by.
Or we could follow them from a distance and learn more about our quarry. Perhaps strike at a more opportune time, Reginald says.
And perhaps they will notice us following them. Or perhaps they are journeying to some vile fortification that we cannot hope to storm. I say we ambush them now while they are in the open, Sibba says.
What do you say?
Ooh.
1. Ambush them. 2. Follow them.
Yes. I said 2.
Why is our demure, frightened merchant daughter suddenly wishing to play the role of a bloodthirsty battle tactician?
You wonder even as you say. Dear Sibba, we will mete out justice to these villains for the death of your father among countless evil deeds in due time. You are not trained in the art of war as Reginald and I are. Even if we set a successful ambush, their numbers are simply too great for 2 men. There are 3 of us, Sibba says fiercely as she thrusts out her palm. A blade for me? Certainly adventurers have more weapons than they need.
Reginald shrugs, unbuckles a dagger belt, and hands it to her. Even if they scurry off to fortifications of some kind, we will take them. I have the trust of the captain of the guard of Ring City. He will not suffer evil so close, says Reginald.
The three of you set off after the priests, while keeping a good distance away, out of sight most of the time. Luckily, their party is so noisy that tracking them is trivial. After a few hours, your quarry leaves the trail and hikes over a field. You now have to follow a bit closer in order to not lose them. Soon, they stop on a hill with a large slab of granite at the top. They set the unicorn down on this slab and surround it. They begin chanting. The chant is in Infernal, but you can only make out a few words from here. They are chanting a prayer, you think. Something about forgiveness.
I am no Nerulean priest, but I do not think this bodes well for the unicorn, says Reginald.
They mean to sacrifice him, Sibba says.
Oh no.
The unicorn is a him? Reginald asks.
Yes, I observed his, when they carried him by our hiding. Sibba responds. Irrelevant, you say in exasperation. Our enemies stand in the open and on high ground. We cannot approach unnoticed. Allow me to lure them to you to the forest edge. I shall play the part of the frightened lost girl. They will be overjoyed to recapture what they lost. You can then attack from your hiding places, says Sibba.
No, my lady, they may harm you, says Reginald.
I will disembowel them, she says, brandishing the dagger Reginald lent her.
I understand your anger for what they did to your father, but do not die a fool, says Reginald.
A fool, am I? Sibba asks, her face in such a visage of malice that you and Reginald both take a step back.
From the castle.
Reginald stutters.
Perhaps stealth would serve us better, you interject. I might turn invisible, creep into their midst, and cut the unicorn free.
My friend, surely your powers are best spent spewing forth gouts of deadly fire, not sneaking about like a rat. Fire and steel, simple and effective, says Reginald. What do you do? 1. Use fire and steel. Requires 4 mana. 2. Turn invisible. Requires 4 mana. 3. Use Sibba as bait. You have 9 mana. Quickly, you cast your spell and creep up the hill. The evil priests are bunched together closely in a circle around the slab of granite, so you have to take care. It is critical that you do not touch anyone, because that would break your invisibility illusion. Your spell book is very explicit about this point. Pass not even like a breeze, for even the wind is felt by man. Become nothing, and nothing will know you. You recall the spell instructions saying, 1 priest shifts to one side, and you have enough room to pass without so much as brushing their long sleeves. Your morale goes up a point. Although you have avoided touching anyone, you cannot help making some measure of noise with your footfalls. Fortunately, their chanting deafens them to your passage. Passed into their inner circle. You can make out their words in the infernal language. We praise you, ancient one. You are free. Servants, slaves to your will. We ask not for mercy. We ask only to serve.
High five, everyone.
We
on
praise
screen.
you, ancient one.
Boom.
You are free. Servants, slaves to your will. We ask not for mercy. We ask only to serve. Over and over they repeat this. One of the hooded men looks familiar. Belfort, the farmer. He comes into Ring City to sell his apples every harvest. You know him because he always gets drunk and makes trouble. The guards have learned to keep an eye on him when he has coin in his pocket. You would never have imagined he was mixed up with dark powers, though. A few others look familiar too, although you cannot place them. They must be locals of Ring City. You are now near the unicorn, and you have your dagger out. You have a couple of options. You could simply cut the unicorn free and start the fight.
Okay.
Or you could try to scare the priests first. 1. Use an illusion. Requires 2 mana. 2. Cut the unicorn loose. You have 5 mana.
I really want to say.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Please press a button or swipe to make your choice.
I'm talking. I don't know what to do. Try to raise my manner to save a unicorn. Wait, I might lose health. I'm doing that anyways. Oh. I'm burping. I'm sorry. I don't want to lose health.
Fair enough. You know that you will cast a more realistic illusion if you pick something you have seen before. What do you choose? 1. Goblins. 2. Girl ghost from Castle Tower. 3. Demon from the altar room.
Oh, that it. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Please press a button or swipe to make your choice.
Well, we know the goblins work, but daytime. And I think Reginald said goblins don't come out on daytime. So, goblins is out. I didn't hear the last one, but I know it's something bad. And then a girl. A girl might distract them. Let's say a girl.
That little girl ghost was certainly frightening. And if these villains have spent any time in Castle Inverness, they will know her, you think. You remember her clearly enough to replicate her in an illusion, and have the clever idea to make the little girl emerge from the unicorn. She has a menacing scowl on her face. There is a collective gasp from the priests, and then shouting. What? Why is she here? You hear from one. Back to your chamber, girl, shouts another. Your morale goes up 4 points.
Oh my God.
The congregation backs up a few steps. Their apparent leader, Lord Igraine, chants a prayer in Infernal. In the name of Nerul, I command you not to harm any of the living here. Go back to the tower of your father and be silent. You cannot maintain your illusion long. You have the girl swoop toward them with her mouth agape, as though to swallow them up. The priests in her path shout and screech in terror as they duck down. Meanwhile, you slash the bonds of the unicorn with your dagger. Now that you are no longer concentrating on the illusion, the girl vanishes, just before reaching one of the cowering priests. Freeing a heavily tied down and struggling unicorn is not as easy as you had hoped. Worse, you touch the unicorn with your hand and blade in the process of cutting his bonds, and so you are unable to hold your invisibility illusion. Wizardry! You hear someone snarl. A dark hissing ray strikes you from the side. Cold spreads through you. Oh! You lost 3 life.
No!
You have 3 life. Quickly, you slash at the remaining bonds holding down the unicorn. The creature looks at you and says, Thank you, good sir. Now free, he leaps up. You will pay for your iniquities, he announces to the others.
You
nearly shout in surprise. You have never seen a horse talk.
Yeah.
His horsey lips do not move like that of a human. Rather, his mouth simply opens and the words spill out. One of the priests glares at you and begins chanting a spell. Fortunately, the unicorn gores him before he finishes. You feel a sharp pain in your shoulder. Just behind you is a Nerulian priest, his face contorted into a murderous sneer. He pulls his dagger back for another strike. Oh! You lost 2 life. You have 1 life.
Don't tell me
that. The unicorn kicks his hind legs into your attacker's ribs, sending him through the air. Unicorns are rather useful, you think. Kill the beast, shouts Lord Igraine from amidst the other priests. Spells are cast and the air fills with hissing, dark bolts of energy. You duck behind the stone as one sizzles above you. Peeking over the stone, you see several dark bolts strike the unicorn, and it whinnies in pain. Most of the remaining priests are so focused on the unicorn that they do not even notice Reginald joining the rear of their fray, swinging his sword with a grim smile on his face. Somehow they are oblivious to the butchery behind them. In the name of Nerul, die! The Lady Igraine shouts from her father's side as she sends forth a crackling ray into the side of the unicorn's head. The magnificent horse crashes to the ground. Behind! Behind! Someone shouts. Now the priests turn their attention to Reginald. He cannot stand against so many. You charge, dagger in hand, shouting like a madman. With you striking from one side and Reginald on the other, the remnants of the priests scatter. In a flurry of stabs, you cut down a final one before he reaches the woods. A shadow falls across your path, and you whirl about. It is Sibba. Her ragged dress is blotched with blood, and the dagger Reginald lent her drips with the gore of a fresh kill. She has a manic smile on her face. Revenge! Revenge for my captivity! She exclaims. She then runs off, presumably to hunt down more fleeing priests. You are considering joining her when you catch a glimpse of the long, beautiful hair of Lady Igraine disappearing into the forest below. You rush into the woods to investigate. Sitting propped against a fallen log only a few meters away is Lord Igraine. His glassy, lifeless eyes stare down at his entrails, spilling out upon his lap. There are symbols drawn in blood on large stones nearby. Kneeling beside him is the Lady Igraine. She is searching his pockets. Where is it? She shouts at her father and then slaps his face. Where is what? You ask as you take a step closer.
Two of them.
She looks up at you with surprise, and then she smiles. Gods be praised! You saved me from my cursed father and his minions, she exclaims. Saved you from them? You are a priestess of death, are you not? You ask. You have fantasized about approaching Lady Igraine more times than you can count, but you never expected your first words would be these. No, no. I was but a slave to my father, she says, her face contorted in rage. She then smiles down at the mangled corpse next to her. Now he is gone, and I am free. But we must not dally here. Unrule, a monster from another world, stalks nearby. She points at one of the blood symbols scrawled on a nearby rock. The symbol is in Infernal. You look back to see Reginald chasing and hacking priests in the grassy field beyond. Quickly, gather your friends and follow me, Lady Igraine says urgently. What do you do? 1. Flee with her. 2. Demand her surrender. 3. Attack her. 4. Charm her. Requires 3 mana. You have 3 mana.
I really want to charm her. I really want to. Oh, I really want to.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Please press a button or swipe to make your choice.
I really want to charm her. 2 secs. Okay, when I was trying to find the button to play it, it kind of slid over to one, two, three. Okay, did it slide over to 4? No, I think it. I don't know. I think I went to 3. If you guys remember what 3 was, it was that I had to press for something. And then when I was finding the play button, it kinda didn't work. But anyways, I'm gonna end it there for now. Like, comment. I don't know why I'm wearing a song. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys whenever. God bless and goodbye.